6 videos in, 68 comparisons completed. And if you have been following this series from the beginning, you have built knowledge about cat care that extends beyond what most veterinarians discuss during routine appointments and beyond what most cat food companies want you to understand about their products. You know how to evaluate food quality, how to assess portion sizes, how to recognize marketing claims that are not supported by evidence, and how to make feeding decisions based on your cat's actual nutritional needs, rather than on advertising that is designed to influence your purchasing behavior without necessarily serving your cat's health. But there is a level of feeding and nutrition decision-making that we have not yet addressed in depth, and it is the level where the details matter enormously for specific cats in specific situations. The questions about whether expensive premium foods provide value proportional to their cost compared to mid-range quality foods, whether rotating proteins provides benefits, or whether consistency is preferable, whether fresh food delivery services that cost 3 to 4 times more than comparable canned food justify their premium prices, whether adding water to food actually increases hydration, or whether it is placebo intervention that makes owners feel better without providing measurable benefit. These are the advanced feeding decisions that separate owners who feed their cats adequately from owners who optimize their cat's nutrition in ways that affect long-term health outcomes. This is part 6, and this video covers 10 advanced feeding and nutrition decisions that will allow you to evaluate the overwhelming number of feeding options available in the current pet food market and to make choices that serve your cat's health and your budget without falling for marketing claims that promise benefits they do not deliver. These are not the basic wet versus dry or free feeding versus scheduled feeding decisions that we covered in part 1. Those foundational comparisons establish the framework. These advanced comparisons address the nuanced questions that arise once you have implemented the basics correctly and are looking to optimize further or are questioning whether premium options provide genuine advantages. And the stakes are real because feeding decisions affect every aspect of your cat's health, from weight management to kidney function to skin and coat quality to immune system performance. The cumulative effect of feeding choices over a cat's lifetime is measured in years of healthy life versus years of chronic disease, and the difference between adequate nutrition and optimized nutrition can be the difference between a cat who remains lean and active into their senior years and a cat who develops obesity and diabetes in middle age, between a cat whose kidney function remains stable into advanced age and a cat who develops chronic kidney disease that shortens their lifespan. Let's be direct about what this video provides and what it does not provide. This is not promotion of expensive boutique foods or fresh food services. This is evaluation of whether premium options provide value proportional to their cost. And in many cases, the answer is that they do not. This is not endorsement of any specific brand or feeding approach. This is framework for evaluating the claims made by food manufacturers and for making informed decisions about whether those claims are supported by evidence or are marketing designed to justify premium pricing without delivering premium nutrition. If you are new to this series, you are starting with part 6, which assumes you already understand the foundational nutrition principles covered in earlier parts. Those videos are linked in the description. And while this video provides value on its own, the complete series builds comprehensive understanding that allows you to navigate every feeding decision with confidence rather than confusion. Subscribe to this channel to catch the remaining parts in this series and to access the other in-depth content we produce on every dimension of cat care. Let's get into the comparisons that will transform how you think about feeding your cat, and that will save you from wasting money on premium options that do not deliver premium results. Comparison 1. Refrigerated versus room temperature food. The temperature at which food is served to cats is one of those details that seems trivial until you understand how cats perceive food and how temperature affects palatability, digestive comfort, and feeding behavior. The standard advice that appears in many cat care guides is to serve wet food at room temperature rather than directly from the refrigerator, operating under the assumption that cats prefer warm food because it resembles the temperature of freshly killed prey, and because cold food is less aromatic and therefore less appealing. This advice is repeated so frequently that most cat owners accept it as established fact, and many owners routinely warm refrigerated food before serving, either by letting it sit at room temperature for 30 minutes to an hour, or by briefly microwaving it to take the chill off. But the question is whether this temperature preference is actually universal across cats, or whether it is variable between individuals, whether cold food causes any actual problems beyond potentially reduced palatability, and whether the effort of warming food provides benefits that justify the routine when many cats will eat refrigerated food without hesitation. This comparison examines what research and clinical observation tell us about cat food temperature preferences, what the claimed benefits and risks of different serving temperatures are, how to determine your individual cat's preference through observation rather than assumption, and how to make practical decisions about food temperature that serve your cat's needs without creating unnecessary complexity in feeding routines. Let's start with what we actually know about cat food temperature preferences from research and from veterinary behaviorist observations, because separating fact from assumption clarifies whether temperature manipulation is essential or optional. The prey temperature theory that is commonly cited suggests that cats evolved to eat freshly killed prey that would be at or near body temperature, and that this evolutionary history creates preference for warm food over cold food. The reasoning is that warm food triggers feeding motivation through temperature cues, in addition to scent and taste cues, while cold food lacks these temperature signals and may even trigger avoidance, because cold temperatures in nature might indicate that prey has been dead long enough to begin decomposition. The evidence for universal warm food preference is weaker than the frequency with which this claim appears in cat care literature would suggest. Studies that have measured cat food preferences across temperature ranges show that many cats do prefer food at approximately body temperature, which is 100 to 102 degrees Fahrenheit for cats. But that preference strength varies enormously between individual cats. Some cats show strong preference and will reject cold food in favor of warm food when both are offered. Other cats show no temperature preference and will eat cold food as readily as warm food. And some cats actually show preference for slightly cooler food, particularly in hot weather, or when the cat is experiencing nausea that makes room temperature or warm food less appealing. The palatability impact of temperature relates primarily to scent, rather than to temperature sensation itself. Warm food releases volatile aromatic compounds more readily than cold food, creating stronger food odors that attract cat attention and trigger feeding behavior. Cats rely heavily on scent to evaluate food palatability, and foods with weak or absent scent are often rejected even if they are nutritionally appropriate and would taste acceptable if the cat would try them. This means that cold food from the refrigerator, which has suppressed aromatic compounds, may be less immediately appealing than the same food served at room temperature where scent is more pronounced. The individual variation in temperature sensitivity and preference is substantial enough that generalizing about what cats prefer is problematic. Cats who have always been fed food at room temperature and who have never been offered cold food may show preference for room temperature simply because it is familiar, not because of inherent biological preference. Cats who have been fed cold food routinely from kittenhood may show no preference for warm food because they have no experience suggesting that warm is preferable. The learned component of food temperature preference means that what cats prefer is partly determined by what they have been trained to expect through their feeding history. Now let's examine the claimed benefits of serving food at room temperature and whether evidence supports these claims. Claim: room temperature food is more palatable and increases food intake in cats with poor appetite. This claim has support for some cats in some circumstances. Warming food to enhance scent can increase appeal for cats who are not eating well due to illness, stress, or medication side effects that suppress appetite. The stronger aromatic profile of warmed food may be sufficient to trigger eating in a cat who is ignoring cold food. However, this benefit is situation-specific rather than universal. Healthy cats with normal appetite do not need enhanced palatability through temperature manipulation, and many will eat cold food perfectly well without requiring warming. Claim: cold food causes digestive upset or vomiting. This claim appears frequently, but is not well supported by evidence. The mechanism by which cold food would cause digestive upset is unclear, because the food warms to stomach temperature within minutes of ingestion, regardless of starting temperature. Some cats do vomit after eating cold food, but this appears to be related to eating too quickly, rather than to food temperature itself. Fast eaters who gulp food rapidly can experience stomach upset, regardless of food temperature. And the solution is addressing eating speed through slow feeders or small frequent meals, rather than through temperature manipulation. Claim: room temperature food is easier to digest. There is no physiological basis for this claim. Digestive enzymes function at body temperature, and food reaches body temperature in the stomach within minutes, regardless of serving temperature. The temperature at which food is served does not affect digestive enzyme activity or nutrient absorption in any meaningful way. The practical considerations for serving temperature involve balancing the potential palatability benefit for some cats against the effort and time required to warm food routinely. Serving food directly from the refrigerator is maximally convenient and requires no advanced planning, no waiting time, and no concern about food safety from leaving food at room temperature too long. For cats who eat cold food readily, this convenience is significant, and there is no reason to add warming steps that provide no benefit for that individual cat. Serving food at room temperature by letting refrigerated food sit out for 30 to 60 minutes before feeding requires advanced planning and creates food safety considerations if food is left at room temperature for extended periods, particularly in warm environments where bacterial growth accelerates. Food that sits at room temperature for more than 2 hours should be discarded rather than refrigerated and reserved to avoid bacterial contamination. Warming food by microwaving requires caution because microwaves heat unevenly and can create hot spots that burn the cat's mouth even when the overall food temperature feels appropriate. Proper microwaving technique involves heating in short bursts of 5 to 10 seconds, stirring thoroughly to distribute heat, and testing temperature carefully before serving. The target temperature is slightly warm to the touch, approximately 95 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, not hot. The warm water mixing method, where a small amount of warm water is added to cold food and stirred, provides gentle warming without risk of hot spots, and has the additional benefit of increasing food moisture content, which benefits hydration. This method is particularly useful for cats who prefer warm food and who benefit from increased water intake. Now let's address the specific situations where food temperature matters versus situations where it is irrelevant. Food temperature matters for cats with poor appetite due to illness who need palatability enhancement to encourage eating cats recovering from surgery or illness where appetite stimulation through scent is beneficial. Senior cats with declining sense of smell who may not detect food scent adequately unless food is warmed. Cats who have demonstrated clear preference for warm food through rejection of cold food when both options are offered. Food temperature does not matter for healthy cats with normal appetite who eat cold food readily, cats who have been fed cold food routinely and show no feeding problems. Situations where convenience of serving cold food outweighs uncertain palatability benefit. The preference testing approach allows determining your individual cat's actual preference, rather than assuming preference based on generalizations. Offer the cat a choice between the same food served cold and the same food served at room temperature, and observe which the cat chooses and whether the cat eats more of the preferred temperature option. If the cat shows clear preference, honor that preference. If the cat shows no preference and eats both equally, choose whichever serving temperature is most convenient for your routine. The seasonal variation consideration is that cats in hot weather may prefer cooler food, while cats in cold weather may prefer warmer food. And adjusting serving temperature seasonally may better match the cat's comfort and preference than maintaining constant temperature year-round. The medical considerations for sick cats create situations where warming food is genuinely beneficial rather than optional. Cats with upper respiratory infections have reduced sense of smell and benefit dramatically from warmed food that releases stronger scent. Cats with nausea may find room temperature food more tolerable than cold food. Cats recovering from surgery who are reluctant to eat may be enticed by warmed food when they ignore cold food. In these medical contexts, food temperature is a tool for encouraging adequate nutrition during recovery, rather than a routine feeding practice. The verdict: food temperature. Preference is individual and variable, and there is no universal rule that all cats prefer room temperature food or that cold food causes problems. Many cats eat cold food readily and do not require or benefit from warming. For healthy cats with normal appetite who eat cold food without hesitation, serving food directly from the refrigerator is perfectly appropriate and eliminates unnecessary steps in feeding routines. The convenience benefit is real, and the claimed digestive or palatability problems from cold food are not supported by evidence for cats who eat cold food voluntarily. For cats who show poor appetite, who are recovering from illness, or who have demonstrated clear preference for warm food through rejection of cold options, warming food to room temperature or slightly above provides genuine palatability benefit that encourages adequate food intake. The warming method, when warming is chosen, should be gentle and should avoid creating hot spots that could burn the mouth. Adding warm water to cold food provides effective warming with hydration benefit and no risk of overheating. If you are currently warming all food routinely for healthy cats who have never shown feeding problems with cold food, you can simplify your feeding routine by offering cold food and observing whether the cats eat it readily. Most will, and you will eliminate an unnecessary step from daily feeding that was providing no actual benefit. If you have a sick cat or a cat with poor appetite, warm the food to enhance palatability and increase the likelihood that the cat will eat adequate amounts during the period when appetite support is needed. This is appropriate medical support feeding, rather than routine practice. Food temperature is one more variable in feeding management, where individual assessment matters more than following general rules. Observe your cats, identify their actual preferences rather than assuming them, and adjust your approach to match what each cat needs, rather than what feeding guides claim all cats need. Comparison 2: meal toppers versus plain food. The pet food industry has identified meal toppers as a lucrative product category that allows manufacturers to charge premium prices for small portions of food that are marketed as flavor enhancers, appetite stimulants, or nutritional supplements that improve the palatability and nutritional value of base meals. Meal toppers include freeze-dried raw meat pieces, bone broth, gravy packets, pureed meat in squeeze tubes, and various other formats that are positioned as additions to regular cat food rather than as complete meals themselves. The marketing message is consistent across products. Your cat's regular food is adequate but not optimal, and adding toppers transforms boring meals into exciting dining experiences that cats eagerly anticipate and that provide nutritional benefits beyond what base food alone delivers. The reality is more complex. Some meal toppers provide genuine value in specific situations, including appetite stimulation for sick cats and hydration enhancement through broth-based toppers. Other toppers are expensive marketing products that provide minimal nutritional benefit and that train cats to become picky eaters who refuse plain food and who hold out for top meals. This comparison examines what meal toppers actually contain and whether they provide nutritional value beyond base food, what the behavioral effects of routine topper use are, and whether they create pickiness problems when toppers are genuinely beneficial versus when they are unnecessary expense, and how to make informed decisions about topper use based on your cat's needs rather than on marketing claims. Let's start with what meal toppers are and what categories exist in the market, because understanding product composition clarifies what they can and cannot accomplish nutritionally. Freeze-dried raw meat toppers consist of small pieces of freeze-dried muscle meat, organ meat, or both, marketed as pure protein additions that enhance the nutritional profile of commercial foods and that provide taste appeal through novel protein sources. The freeze-drying process removes moisture while preserving nutrients, creating shelf-stable products that can be stored at room temperature and rehydrated with water or crumbled dry over food. These toppers are among the most expensive in the category, often costing $3 to $6 per ounce, and they are marketed with heavy emphasis on raw food benefits and on quality of ingredients. Bone broth toppers are liquid products containing brewed bone broth, sometimes with added meat pieces, vegetables, or supplements. Bone broth is marketed as providing hydration, joint support through collagen and glucosamine from dissolved connective tissue, and palatability through rich, meaty flavor. Bone broth toppers are less expensive than freeze-dried products, but still command premium prices of $2 to $4 for 8 to 12-ounce containers. Gravy and sauce toppers are thick liquid products designed to coat dry food or to add moisture to wet food, marketed primarily for palatability rather than for nutritional value. These products are typically the least expensive topper category and are often formulated with flavor enhancers, thickeners, and minimal actual meat content, despite packaging that emphasizes meat flavors. Pureed meat squeeze tubes contain smooth meat paste in portable squeeze tubes marketed for convenience and portion control. These products occupy a middle ground in price and nutritional value between freeze-dried toppers and gravy products. The nutritional composition of toppers varies enormously by product type and brand, but most toppers share the characteristic that they are not complete and balanced nutrition and are intended as supplements to base meals rather than as standalone food. This means toppers should constitute a small percentage of total daily calorie intake, typically 10% or less, to avoid creating nutritional imbalances. The protein content of meat-based toppers is high, often 40 to 60% protein on a dry matter basis, which is higher than most commercial cat foods, and which is emphasized in marketing as evidence of superior quality. However, adding high-protein toppers to already protein-adequate food does not provide additional health benefits for most cats beyond what properly formulated base food already supplies. Cats require sufficient protein, not maximum protein, and exceeding protein requirements does not improve health outcomes and may stress kidney function in cats with compromised kidneys. The calorie contribution from toppers must be accounted for in total daily calorie intake to prevent weight gain. A tablespoon of freeze-dried meat topper contains approximately 30 to 40 calories, which represents 5 to 10% of daily calorie needs for average adult cats. Adding toppers to meals without reducing base food portions creates calorie surplus that leads to weight gain over time. Now let's examine the claimed benefits of meal toppers and whether evidence supports these claims. Claim: toppers increase food palatability and encourage picky eaters to eat. This claim has some truth for cats who are not eating adequately due to illness, stress, or medication effects that suppress appetite. Adding highly palatable toppers can increase interest in food and can encourage eating in cats who are ignoring plain food. However, for healthy cats with normal appetite, palatability enhancement through toppers is unnecessary and can create pickiness where none existed before. Cats who are routinely fed topped meals may begin refusing plain food and holding out for topped meals, creating dependence on toppers that makes feeding more expensive and more complicated than necessary. Claim: toppers provide superior nutrition that improves health beyond what base food provides. This claim is not supported for cats eating complete and balanced commercial foods that already meet nutritional requirements. Adding protein or other nutrients through toppers to food that is already nutritionally adequate does not provide additional health benefits and does not improve outcomes measurably. The exception is when base food is nutritionally deficient, in which case the problem is poor base food selection that should be corrected by choosing better food rather than by supplementing deficient food with toppers. Claim: bone broth toppers support joint health through collagen and glucosamine. The evidence for joint health benefits from dietary collagen and glucosamine is weak in cats, and the amounts present in bone broth are typically too low to provide therapeutic effect even if oral supplementation were effective. Joint supplements formulated for therapeutic use contain much higher doses of glucosamine and chondroitin than what is present in bone broth products. And even these therapeutic supplements have mixed evidence for effectiveness in cats. Using bone broth as joint support is unlikely to provide measurable benefit. Claim: toppers increase hydration. This claim is valid for liquid toppers, including bone broth and gravies that add moisture to meals. Cats with low water intake benefit from increased meal moisture content, and liquid toppers provide this benefit effectively. However, the same hydration benefit is achieved more economically by adding plain water to food, eliminating the expense of commercial toppers, while providing equivalent or greater moisture addition. The behavioral conditioning effect of routine topper use is the most significant concern and is underappreciated by owners who begin using toppers casually, without recognizing that they are training food preferences that may become problematic. Cats are capable of learned food preferences and aversions, and consistent pairing of toppers with base food trains the expectation that all meals should be topped. When topped meals are temporarily unavailable due to product shortages, travel, or financial constraints, cats who have been conditioned to expect toppers may refuse plain food even when hungry, creating feeding challenges that could have been avoided by not establishing topper dependence in the first place. The cost analysis of routine topper use reveals that toppers significantly increase feeding expenses without providing proportional nutritional value. Freeze-dried toppers used daily at recommended serving sizes cost approximately $60 to $120 per month per cat, which equals $720 to $1,440 annually. Bone broth toppers cost approximately $30 to $60 monthly, or $360 to $720 annually. These costs are added to base food costs and represent pure premium expense that does not replace any existing food expense because toppers are supplements rather than meal replacements. For comparison, the nutritional value provided by $1 of freeze-dried meat topper could be provided by approximately 10 to 15 cents worth of high-quality wet food, revealing that the markup on toppers is enormous and is paid for marketing and convenience rather than for superior nutrition. Now let's address the specific situations where toppers provide genuine value versus situations where they are unnecessary expense. Toppers are genuinely beneficial for cats with poor appetite due to illness who need palatability enhancement to maintain adequate food intake during recovery, senior cats with declining sense of smell who benefit from strongly scented toppers that make food more detectable, cats requiring medication mixed with food who accept medication more readily when food is topped with highly palatable products, cats with chronic kidney disease or other conditions requiring increased water intake, where liquid toppers provide convenient hydration delivery, transition periods when introducing new foods, where toppers on new food increase acceptance. Toppers are unnecessary expense for healthy cats with normal appetite who eat base food readily without enhancement, situations where the goal is variety or flavor, enrichment without medical necessity. Owners who want to provide premium nutrition but are already feeding high-quality, complete and balanced food cats who are overweight or at risk for obesity, where additional calories from toppers contribute to weight problems. The appropriate topper usage protocol when toppers are medically indicated or strategically useful involves using toppers temporarily during the period when enhancement is needed, rather than establishing permanent routine use. For example, using toppers for a cat recovering from illness makes sense during the recovery period when appetite support is needed. But continuing toppers after recovery when the cat is eating normally again creates unnecessary expense and behavioral conditioning without providing ongoing benefit. The homemade topper alternative provides equivalent or superior nutritional value at fraction of commercial topper cost. Plain cooked chicken breast, canned tuna packed in water, or low-sodium chicken broth provide the same palatability enhancement and nutritional contribution as commercial toppers without the premium markup. The convenience of commercial toppers is real, But for owners willing to prepare simple additions, homemade options deliver better value. The rotation strategy, where toppers are used occasionally rather than routinely, maintains novelty without creating expectation. Using toppers once or twice weekly as special treats rather than daily additions preserves palatability enhancement without training dependence, allowing toppers to remain effective for situations when they are genuinely needed without becoming baseline expectation. The verdict meal. Toppers provide genuine value in medical situations, including appetite support during illness, palatability enhancement for senior cats with reduced scent, perception, and hydration delivery through liquid products. In these specific contexts, toppers are useful tools that support health goals. Meal toppers are unnecessary expense for healthy cats with normal appetite who eat base food readily. And routine use creates behavioral conditioning that can lead to pickiness and feeding challenges without providing nutritional benefits that justify the cost. The cost-benefit analysis for routine topper use does not support the expense for most cats in most situations, and the nutritional value delivered by commercial toppers can be provided more economically through homemade additions or through higher quality base food selection. If you are currently using toppers routinely for healthy cats who have always eaten well, you can eliminate this expense by transitioning to plain food and observing whether the cats continue eating normally. Most will, and you will save hundreds of dollars annually per cat without compromising nutrition or palatability for cats who do not need enhancement. If you have a cat who genuinely benefits from toppers due to poor appetite or medical conditions, use toppers strategically during the period when support is needed, rather than establishing permanent routine that continues after the medical need resolves. If you choose to use toppers for enrichment or variety, despite no medical necessity, use them sparingly and unpredictably, rather than daily, to preserve novelty and to avoid creating expectation that makes plain food unacceptable. Meal toppers are marketing products first and nutritional products second, and purchasing decisions should be made with recognition that premium prices reflect marketing and convenience, rather than premium nutritional value that cannot be achieved through less expensive alternatives. Comparison 3. Bone broth versus plain water for hydration. Hydration is one of the most critical aspects of feline health, and chronic low water intake is implicated in the development of urinary tract disease, kidney disease, and constipation that affect millions of cats, and that cause significant morbidity and shorten lifespan. The recognition that many cats do not drink adequate water has driven interest in strategies to increase water consumption, and bone broth has emerged as a popular solution that is marketed as providing superior hydration compared to plain water, because cats find broth more palatable and will consume larger volumes of liquid when it is flavored with meat than when it is plain water. The bone broth trend has been amplified by human nutrition movements that promote bone broth for joint health and gut health, creating halo effect where products marketed to humans are assumed to provide similar benefits to cats. The question is whether bone broth actually delivers superior hydration outcomes compared to plain water when accounting for cost, practicality, and the potential downsides of training cats to expect flavored liquids, instead of accepting plain water. This comparison examines what bone broth contains beyond water and whether those additional components provide health benefits. What the evidence shows about whether cats actually consume more liquid when it is flavored compared to plain water, what the cost and convenience differences are between bone broth and water, and how to make informed decisions about hydration strategies based on your cat's actual water intake and health status. Let's start with what bone broth is and what it contains, because understanding composition clarifies whether it offers advantages beyond hydration delivery. Bone broth is liquid made by simmering animal bones, connective tissue, and sometimes meat in water for extended periods, typically 12 to 24 hours or longer, which extracts collagen, gelatin, minerals including calcium and phosphorus, amino acids including glycine and proline, and flavor compounds into the liquid. The resulting broth is rich, flavorful, and contains dissolved nutrients that are marketed as providing health benefits, including joint support through collagen, gut health support through gelatin, and mineral supplementation through dissolved bone minerals. The commercial bone broth products marketed for pets vary in composition from genuine bone broth, made through long-simmering traditional methods, to broth-flavored water products that contain minimal actual broth and that rely on added flavoring to create meaty taste. The ingredient lists reveal these differences, with high-quality products listing bones or bone broth as the primary ingredient and lower-quality products listing water as the primary ingredient with small amounts of meat or bone extract added for flavor. The sodium content in bone broth varies by formulation and is a consideration for cats with heart disease, kidney disease, or hypertension, where sodium restriction is medically indicated. Some commercial pet bone broths are formulated low sodium specifically to address this concern, while others contain sodium levels that would be problematic for cats on sodium-restricted diets. Homemade bone broth made without added salt is naturally low sodium and avoids this concern. The calorie content of bone broth is modest, but non-zero, typically 5 to 15 calories per ounce, depending on the concentration and whether meat is included along with bones. For cats consuming several ounces of bone broth daily as hydration supplementation, the calorie contribution can be 20 to 60 calories, which represents 3 to 10% of daily calorie needs, and which must be accounted for in total daily intake to prevent weight gain. Now let's examine the claimed hydration benefits of bone broth and whether evidence supports superior outcomes compared to plain water. Claim: cats drink more bone broth than plain water, increasing total fluid intake. This claim has some support in individual cats who show clear preference for flavored liquids over plain water and who voluntarily consume larger volumes of broth than they would consume of water when both are available. The palatability of bone broth drives consumption in these cats, and the increased liquid intake provides genuine hydration benefit. However, this preference is not universal. Some cats show no preference between broth and water and will consume similar volumes of each. Other cats prefer plain water and will drink less when only broth is offered, compared to when plain water is available. The individual variation in liquid preference means that generalizing about whether cats drink more broth than water is misleading. The appropriate assessment is to offer your specific cat both options and observe which they consume more of, rather than assuming that broth will drive higher consumption based on population averages that may not apply to your individual cat. Claim: bone broth provides superior hydration compared to plain water due to electrolyte content. This claim is not supported. While bone broth does contain minerals, including sodium and potassium, that are electrolytes, the concentrations are not significantly different from what is provided by cat food, and the hydration benefit comes from the water content of broth, rather than from the electrolyte content. Plain water provides equivalent hydration on a volume-for-volume basis compared to bone broth, and there is no physiological mechanism by which bone broth would hydrate more effectively than water. Claim: bone broth supports kidney function in cats with kidney disease. This claim is commonly made but is not evidence-based. While increased fluid intake does benefit cats with kidney disease by supporting hydration and by helping flush waste products through the kidneys, that benefit comes from the water content of broth, rather than from any specific property of bone broth itself. The same hydration benefit would be achieved through plain water or through added water to food, without the sodium and phosphorus content of bone broth that could be problematic for cats with advanced kidney disease. In fact, cats with kidney disease are often placed on phosphorus-restricted diets because phosphorus contributes to kidney disease progression, and bone broth is relatively high in phosphorus due to minerals leached from bones during cooking. Using bone broth as primary hydration source for kidney disease, cats could inadvertently increase phosphorus intake beyond recommended levels, potentially contributing to disease progression rather than supporting kidney health. The cost comparison between bone broth and plain water is dramatic. Commercial bone broth for pets costs approximately $2 to $6 per 12-ounce container, depending on brand and quality. For a cat consuming 3 to 4 ounces of broth daily as hydration supplementation, The monthly cost is approximately $15 to $60, or $180 to $720 annually. Plain water costs effectively zero. The question is whether the potential palatability advantage of broth justifies this expense, and the answer depends on whether your specific cat actually drinks more broth than water. The homemade bone broth option reduces costs substantially compared to commercial products, but introduces time and effort requirements. Making bone broth involves simmering bones for 12 to 24 hours, straining the broth, and storing it in refrigerator or freezer for use. The ingredient cost for homemade broth is modest, typically $3 to $8 per batch, yielding several cups of broth. But the time investment and the ongoing commitment to maintaining broth supply creates practical barriers that limit adoption. The plain water optimization strategies provide free or low-cost alternatives to bone broth that may increase water consumption without the expense and complexity of broth. Multiple water stations in different locations throughout the home increase water availability and access, addressing the behavioral reality that cats drink more when water is conveniently located near where they spend time. Water fountains with flowing water appeal to some cats who prefer moving water over still water, and fountains can increase consumption in cats with this preference. Adding water to wet food increases meal moisture content and provides hydration through food, rather than through separate drinking, which is effective for cats who eat well but who do not drink much. The flavor enhancement of plain water through small additions creates middle ground option between plain water and bone broth. Adding a teaspoon of tuna water from canned tuna or a small amount of low-sodium chicken broth to plain water creates flavored water that is more palatable than plain water for some cats, but that costs pennies rather than dollars. And that avoids the calorie and sodium load of full-strength bone broth. Now let's address the behavioral conditioning concern with routine bone broth use that parallels the concern with meal toppers. Cats who are routinely offered bone broth as primary liquid source may become conditioned to expect flavored liquids and may begin refusing or reducing consumption of plain water. This creates dependence on bone broth availability that becomes problematic during travel, during product shortages, or when financial constraints make continuing bone broth purchases difficult. A cat who refuses plain water and who will only drink broth is a cat with limited adaptability, who may experience dehydration when broth is unavailable. The solution is to offer both plain water and bone broth simultaneously if bone broth is used, maintaining plain water as the primary reliable liquid source, and using broth as supplemental option rather than as replacement for water. This approach preserves plain water acceptance, while providing the palatability benefit of broth for cats who consume more when flavored liquids are available. The verdict: bone broth provides hydration benefit for cats who voluntarily consume larger volumes of broth than they consume of plain water, and the palatability-driven increased consumption justifies the use of broth for these specific cats. However, this advantage is individual and variable, not universal, and many cats drink equivalent volumes of plain water and bone broth when both are offered. Plain water provides equivalent hydration on a volume-for-volume basis compared to bone broth and costs effectively zero compared to the substantial ongoing expense of commercial bone broth. For cats who drink adequate volumes of plain water, there is no hydration advantage to switching to bone broth, and the expense is not justified by outcomes. The claimed additional health benefits of bone broth, including joint support and kidney health support, are not supported by evidence, and the nutritional value beyond hydration delivery is minimal. The minerals and amino acids in bone broth do not provide therapeutic benefits in the concentrations present in typical consumption volumes. If you are considering bone broth for hydration enhancement, test your cat's actual consumption before committing to routine use. Offer plain water and bone broth simultaneously for several days, and measure consumption of each. If the cat drinks significantly more broth than water, broth provides genuine benefit. If consumption is equivalent, broth provides no hydration advantage, and plain water is the more economical choice. If your cat has kidney disease and you are considering bone broth for hydration support, Discuss phosphorus content with your veterinarian before implementing broth routinely. For cats on phosphorus restriction, plain water or food moisture enhancement may be safer hydration strategies than bone broth. If you choose to use bone broth for palatability-driven hydration enhancement, maintain plain water availability simultaneously to preserve water acceptance and to avoid creating dependence on flavored liquids that limits adaptability when broth is unavailable. Hydration is critical for feline health, and increasing water consumption, through any means that your individual cat responds to, provides genuine benefit. Bone broth is one tool among several for increasing hydration, not a superior solution that all cats need. Evaluate your cat's actual response, rather than assuming benefit based on marketing claims, and choose the hydration strategy that matches your cat's preferences and your budget. Comparison 4. Single protein versus rotating proteins. The question of whether to feed cats a single consistent protein source throughout their lives or to rotate between different protein sources on a regular schedule has become one of the most debated topics in feline nutrition discussions, with passionate advocates on both sides claiming that their approach is superior for cat health and that the opposing approach creates problems. The rotation advocates argue that feeding the same protein continuously increases the risk of developing food allergies or sensitivities to that protein. That variety provides broader nutrient profiles and prevents deficiencies that might occur if a single protein source is nutritionally incomplete, and that rotation prevents boredom and maintains eating enthusiasm. The single protein advocates argue that consistency prevents digestive upset from frequent diet changes, that rotation is unnecessary for cats eating complete and balanced commercial foods that already provide all required nutrients, and that rotation creates pickiness by training cats to expect variety rather than accepting consistent meals. This comparison examines what the evidence actually shows about food allergy development and whether protein rotation prevents it, what the digestive effects of diet changes are, and whether rotation causes problems or is well tolerated, what nutritional advantages rotation might provide, and whether they are meaningful for cats eating quality commercial foods, and how to make informed decisions about protein consistency versus rotation based on your cat's health status and individual response to diet changes. Let's start with the food allergy and sensitivity question, because this is the most common justification given for protein rotation, and because understanding how food allergies actually develop clarifies whether rotation prevents them. Food allergies in cats are immune-mediated reactions to specific proteins in food, most commonly proteins from beef, fish, and dairy, though any protein can potentially trigger allergic reactions in susceptible cats. The allergic reaction occurs when the immune system identifies a food protein as a threat and mounts an immune response that causes symptoms including skin itching, hair loss, ear infections, vomiting, diarrhea, or combinations of these signs. True food allergies are relatively uncommon in cats compared to environmental allergies, but when they occur, they can significantly affect quality of life and require dietary management. The theory behind protein rotation for allergy prevention is that limiting exposure to any single protein reduces the risk of the immune system developing sensitivity to that protein, and that rotating proteins prevents the cumulative exposure that is thought to trigger allergic responses. This theory assumes that allergies develop through prolonged repeated exposure to proteins, and that limiting exposure time to any single protein by rotating keeps exposure below the threshold where sensitization occurs. The evidence does not support this theory. Food allergies do not develop simply from feeding the same protein continuously. Allergies develop in genetically susceptible individuals when their immune systems abnormally identify food proteins as threats, and this susceptibility is intrinsic rather than created by exposure duration. Cats fed single proteins for years often never develop allergies, while cats fed rotational diets can develop allergies to proteins they have eaten only briefly. The development of food allergy is determined by individual immune system function rather than by feeding protocol. The elimination diet protocol used to diagnose food allergies actually relies on feeding a single novel protein that the cat has never eaten before. And cats remain on this single protein long term after allergies are confirmed. If prolonged single protein feeding caused allergies, elimination diets would create new allergies rather than resolving existing ones. The success of long-term single protein feeding in allergic cats demonstrates that protein consistency does not cause allergy development. The food sensitivity versus true allergy distinction matters because many digestive reactions to food changes are sensitivities or intolerances rather than immune-mediated allergies. Sensitivities cause digestive symptoms, including soft stool, diarrhea, or vomiting when specific ingredients are fed, but they do not involve immune system activation, and they do not worsen with continued exposure the way allergies do. Sensitivities are often dose-dependent, meaning small amounts of the ingredient are tolerated, while larger amounts cause symptoms. Now, let's examine the digestive effects of diet changes and whether rotation causes problems. The feline digestive system is adapted for consistent diet rather than for variety. In nature, cats hunt the same prey species repeatedly in their territory, and their digestive microbiome and enzyme production optimize for the food they regularly consume. Sudden diet changes disrupt this optimization and can cause temporary digestive upset as the microbiome adjusts to new food composition. The gradual transition protocol for diet changes involves mixing increasing proportions of new food with decreasing proportions of old food over 7 to 10 days, allowing the digestive system to adapt gradually without shock from abrupt change. Most cats tolerate gradual transitions well, but some cats are sensitive to diet changes and experience digestive upset even with gradual transitions. The rotation feeding protocol, if implemented properly, uses the same gradual transition process each time proteins are rotated, transitioning slowly from chicken to fish, then from fish to turkey, then from turkey back to chicken in an ongoing cycle. This means rotation is not simply switching foods abruptly, but is a series of gradual transitions that occur more frequently than in single protein feeding, where transitions only occur when changing brands or formulations for specific reasons. The practical reality is that frequent transitions required for regular rotation increase the likelihood of digestive upset compared to consistent feeding, particularly in cats with sensitive stomachs or inflammatory bowel disease. For these cats, rotation creates ongoing low-level digestive stress that stable single-protein feeding avoids. The nutritional completeness question asks whether single proteins can provide all required nutrients or whether rotation is necessary for nutritional adequacy. Complete and balanced commercial cat foods are formulated to provide all essential nutrients, regardless of protein source, meaning a food using chicken as primary protein contains the same vitamins, minerals, fatty acids, and amino acids as a food using fish or turkey as primary protein. The protein source provides amino acids, but all other nutrients are added through ingredients beyond the protein source or through supplementation to meet AFCO nutritional standards. This means that rotating proteins for nutritional variety is unnecessary when feeding complete and balanced foods, because nutritional requirements are met by any single complete food. The variety from rotation is in flavor and texture, rather than in nutrients. And flavor variety is a preference issue rather than a nutritional requirement. The amino acid profile differences between protein sources are real but not nutritionally significant. For cats eating complete foods, different proteins have different proportions of individual amino acids, but complete cat foods are formulated to provide adequate amounts of all essential amino acids, regardless of which protein dominates the formulation. A cat eating chicken-based food receives adequate taurine, methionine, and all other essential amino acids, just as a cat eating fish-based food does, because food manufacturers ensure amino acid adequacy through formulation and supplementation. The boredom and pickiness question addresses whether cats benefit psychologically from dietary variety, or whether variety creates expectation for novelty that manifests as pickiness. The evidence on whether cats experience boredom from consistent diets is mixed. Some behavioral observations suggest that cats offered varied foods show increased interest and enthusiasm for meals, compared to cats fed the same food continuously, supporting the idea that variety provides psychological enrichment. Other observations show that cats fed consistent diets show normal eating behavior and no signs of reduced interest in food, suggesting that boredom is not universal and that many cats are perfectly content eating the same food indefinitely. The individual variation in response to consistency versus variety is substantial, with some cats clearly preferring variety and showing reduced enthusiasm for food when the same meal is offered repeatedly, while other cats prefer consistency and show reduced acceptance of new foods when variety is introduced. The preference appears to be temperament-related, with food-motivated exploratory cats enjoying variety and cautious food-conservative cats preferring consistency. The pickiness development concern is that cats trained to expect variety through rotation may become unwilling to accept single foods consistently and may begin refusing meals in anticipation that alternative options will be offered if they hold out. This learned behavior is reinforced when owners respond to food refusal by offering different foods, training the cat that refusal produces variety. Now let's address the specific situations where rotation is beneficial versus where single protein consistency is preferable. Protein rotation is beneficial for cats who show clear preference for variety and who eat more enthusiastically when foods are rotated. Cats with diagnosed food allergies, where rotation among safe proteins prevents development of new allergies to the limited protein options available. Households feeding raw or homemade diets where rotation provides nutritional insurance against formulation errors in any single recipe. Cats with inflammatory bowel disease or sensitive stomachs who paradoxically do better with rotation than with consistency, which occurs in some individuals. Single protein consistency is beneficial for cats with sensitive stomachs who experience digestive upset from diet changes, cats who eat well on consistent diets, and show no interest in or benefit from variety medical situations, where dietary consistency is important for monitoring response to specific foods, owners who prefer simplicity, and who do not want to manage multiple foods in transitions. The middle ground approach uses limited rotation, where foods are changed infrequently, perhaps every few months rather than weekly or monthly, providing some variety without the frequent transitions that can cause digestive issues. This satisfies cats who benefit from occasional change, while maintaining relative stability that most cats tolerate well. The protein source quality consideration matters more than rotation frequency. Feeding high-quality single-protein food consistently provides better nutrition than rotating between lower-quality foods with inferior ingredients, because nutritional value depends on overall formulation quality rather than on protein variety. The verdict: protein rotation does not prevent food allergies and is not necessary for nutritional completeness when feeding complete and balanced commercial foods. The claimed allergy prevention benefit is not supported by evidence, and the nutritional variety from rotation is in flavor rather than in nutrients that affect health. Single protein consistency is appropriate and adequate for most cats and simplifies feeding management while avoiding the digestive upset that rotation can cause in sensitive cats. Cats fed high-quality single-protein foods consistently receive complete nutrition and show normal eating behavior without signs of boredom or nutritional deficiency. Protein rotation is beneficial for cats who show individual preference for variety through increased enthusiasm for rotated meals, and for specific medical situations where rotation is recommended by veterinarians managing food allergies or other conditions. If you are currently rotating proteins because you believe it prevents allergies or provides superior nutrition, understand that these benefits are not evidence-based and that rotation is optional rather than necessary. If your cat eats well on consistent single-protein food, you can simplify feeding by eliminating rotation without compromising nutrition or health. If you are feeding single protein consistently and your cat shows reduced eating enthusiasm or seems bored with meals, you can trial limited rotation to assess whether variety increases interest. Introduce changes gradually and monitor digestive tolerance to ensure rotation is beneficial rather than problematic for your individual cat. The rotation versus consistency decision is preference-based rather than evidence-based, and both approaches provide adequate nutrition when complete and balanced foods are used. Choose the approach that matches your cat's individual response to consistency versus variety, and that fits your management preferences, and that your cat tolerates digestively. Neither approach is inherently superior, and the best choice is the one that keeps your individual cat eating well and maintaining healthy body condition. Comparison 5. Timed feeders versus puzzle feeders. The technology and design innovation in pet feeding equipment has created a proliferation of specialized feeding devices that claim to solve behavioral problems, improve feeding management, and enhance cat welfare through various mechanisms ranging from precise meal timing to cognitive enrichment through food dispensing puzzles. Timed feeders, also called automatic feeders, dispense pre-measured food portions at scheduled times without owner intervention. Marketed as solutions for owners who work irregular hours or who cannot be present for scheduled feedings, and as tools for preventing begging behavior by removing the association between owner presence and food delivery. Puzzle feeders require cats to manipulate the feeder to access food through pawing, rolling, or other actions, marketed as providing mental stimulation and slowing eating speed, while engaging natural foraging instincts. The question is whether these specialized feeders provide genuine benefits that justify their cost and complexity compared to traditional bowl feeding, or whether they are solutions to problems that do not exist for most cats and that create new complications without delivering meaningful welfare improvements. This comparison examines what timed feeders and puzzle feeders actually accomplish, what problems they solve and what problems they potentially create, how to determine whether your specific cat would benefit from either type of feeder, and how to make informed decisions about feeding equipment based on your cat's needs and your household situation. Let's start with timed feeders and what they provide beyond manual feeding. Timed feeders are programmable devices that store dry food, or in some models wet food, and dispense preset portions at scheduled times throughout the day and night. The programming typically allows setting multiple meal times with customizable portion sizes, and some advanced models include features like voice recording that plays the owner's voice at feeding time, camera integration that allows remote monitoring of feeding, and smartphone connectivity that enables schedule adjustments from anywhere. The schedule consistency benefit is the primary advantage of time feeders for cats who thrive on predictable routines. Cats fed at precisely the same times daily through automatic dispensing experience, consistent meal timing regardless of owner schedule variations, which can reduce food-related anxiety and begging behavior in cats who have learned that pestering owners sometimes results in early feeding. The feeder delivers meals on schedule without negotiation, eliminating the variable reinforcement that trains begging. The overnight and early morning feeding capability addresses the common problem of cats waking owners in pre-dawn hours demanding breakfast. Programming a time feeder to dispense a small meal at 5 or 6 a.m. satisfies the cat's hunger without requiring the owner to wake up, potentially improving sleep quality for owners who have been routinely awakened by hungry cats. The portion control precision of timed feeders eliminates estimation errors and ensures that exact portions are fed at each meal, supporting weight management programs where precise calorie control is essential. Manual measuring can vary by 10 to 20% between feedings depending on how generously the cup is filled, while timed feeders dispense identical portions every time. The absence requirement coverage is the most obvious benefit, allowing cats to receive scheduled meals during owner absences for work, travel, or other commitments. For owners who work long or irregular hours, timed feeders ensure that cats eat on appropriate schedules rather than going extended periods without food or being fed irregular large meals. The limitations and potential problems with timed feeders include mechanical failure risk, where malfunction can result in either no food being dispensed leaving the cat unfed, or multiple portions being dispensed, creating overfeeding and potential food spoilage. Battery-powered feeders can fail if batteries die, and electric feeders can fail during power outages. For these reasons, time feeders should not be relied upon for extended absences, beyond 24 to 48 hours without backup plans or monitoring. The food freshness issue affects wet food timed feeders more than dry food feeders. Wet food spoils quickly at room temperature, and portions dispensed hours before the cat eats them may be unpalatable or unsafe by the time the cat accesses them. Ice pack systems and refrigerated feeders address this partially, but complexity and cost increase substantially with wet food timed feeders compared to simple dry food models. The learning curve and adaptation period for some cats includes initial confusion about the feeder and potential fear, responses to the mechanical sounds of dispensing. Most cats adapt within days, but some cats remain wary of automatic feeders and may not eat readily from them without training and positive association building. Now let's talk about puzzle feeders and what they accomplish. Puzzle feeders are devices that require cats to manipulate the feeder to access food, engaging problem-solving behaviors and extending feeding time compared to bowl feeding, where food is immediately accessible. Puzzle feeder formats include stationary feeders with openings that the cat must reach through to extract food pieces, rolling feeders that dispense food through holes as the cat bats and rolls the toy, feeding balls that drop kibble as they are moved, and various configurations that create barriers between cat and food that must be overcome through manipulation. The mental stimulation benefit is the primary welfare claim for puzzle feeders, based on the principle that indoor cats lack the cognitive challenges that outdoor cats experience through hunting and territory navigation, and that providing food-based problem-solving enriches the indoor environment and prevents boredom. The mental engagement from puzzle feeding is thought to provide satisfaction and tire cats mentally in ways that passive bowl feeding cannot. The slowed eating benefit addresses the problem of cats who eat too quickly and vomit shortly after meals. Puzzle feeders that dispense small amounts of food gradually force slower consumption, allowing proper chewing and preventing the rapid stomach filling that triggers vomiting in fast eaters. This is particularly valuable for cats who consistently vomit after eating and who have no underlying medical cause for the vomiting. The increased activity and exercise from puzzle feeders that require the cat to move or manipulate the feeder provides modest physical activity that contributes to daily calorie expenditure, and that may benefit overweight cats. The activity level is low compared to interactive play, but exceeds the zero activity of bowl feeding. The limitations and frustrations with puzzle feeders include difficulty level mismatch, where the puzzle is either too easy, providing no challenge and no slow feeding benefit, or too difficult, causing frustration and potentially causing the cat to give up and not eat adequately. The difficulty must match the individual cat's problem-solving ability and persistence. The cleaning and maintenance burden of puzzle feeders substantially exceeds bowl cleaning because puzzle feeders have crevices, moving parts, and complex shapes that trap food particles and that require disassembly and thorough cleaning to prevent bacterial growth. Many owners begin using puzzle feeders with enthusiasm, but discontinue when cleaning becomes tedious. The multi-cat household complications arise when cats have different feeding speeds or food requirements, and when puzzle feeders do not allow controlled individual feeding. Dominant cats may monopolize puzzle feeders, preventing subordinate cats from accessing food. Or fast puzzle solvers may access food meant for other cats who have not yet figured out the puzzle. The appetite suppression in some cats who find puzzle feeders frustrating rather than engaging causes the opposite of intended effect, where the cat eats less because feeding becomes work rather than pleasure. This is particularly concerning for cats with poor appetite or for senior cats who may lack energy or interest to engage with puzzle feeding when simpler bowl feeding would support better food intake. Let's address the specific situations where each feeder type is beneficial versus situations where traditional bowls are adequate. Timed feeders are beneficial for owners with irregular work schedules or long work hours who cannot provide consistent manual feeding times, cats who wake owners in early morning demanding breakfast, multi-meal feeding protocols where frequent small meals throughout day are medically indicated weight management programs requiring precise portion control, short-term owner absences of 24 to 48 hours where scheduled feeding during absence is needed. Puzzle feeders are beneficial for cats who eat too quickly and vomit after meals, bored indoor cats who lack mental stimulation and who would benefit from food-based cognitive enrichment, overweight cats who would benefit from increased activity during feeding, food-motivated cats who enjoy problem-solving and who engage enthusiastically with puzzle feeders. Traditional bowl feeding is adequate for cats with normal eating speed who do not vomit after meals, owners who are present for scheduled feedings and who prefer feeding interaction with cats, senior cats, or cats with mobility limitations who may struggle with puzzle feeders, multi-cat households where individual feeding control is important, cats with poor appetite where making feeding easier rather than more challenging is goal. The combination approach using timed feeders for schedule consistency and bowl feeding for some meals provides flexibility that addresses multiple goals. For example, using a timed feeder for morning feeding while working, but feeding evening meal manually in a bowl allows interaction while preventing early morning wake-ups. The gradual introduction protocol for puzzle feeders prevents frustration and ensures that cats learn to use the feeders successfully. Starting with very simple puzzles or with puzzle feeders partially filled with very easy access to food, then gradually increasing difficulty as the cat masters each level, builds confidence, and prevents the cat from giving up during initial learning. The monitoring requirement for both specialized feeders means that owners cannot simply install the feeder and assume it is working correctly. Timed feeders require verification that portions are being dispensed correctly and that the cat is actually eating the dispensed food. Puzzle feeders require monitoring to ensure the cat is accessing adequate food and is not becoming frustrated or giving up. The verdict: timed feeders provide genuine convenience and welfare benefits for owners with scheduling constraints and for specific behavioral situations, including early morning waking and begging behavior. The schedule consistency and portion control precision justify the investment for cats and households where these features solve real problems. Puzzle feeders provide mental stimulation and slow feeding benefits for cats who eat too quickly and for bored indoor cats who engage enthusiastically with food puzzles. However, the benefits are individual, and many cats show no interest in puzzle feeding or find it frustrating rather than enriching. Traditional bowl feeding remains adequate and appropriate for most cats in most situations, and specialized feeders are solutions to specific problems, rather than universal improvements over bowls. If you are considering a timed feeder because of scheduling challenges or early morning wake-ups, the investment is justified, and the feeder will likely solve these problems effectively. Choose models with battery backup or dual power options to prevent feeding failures during power outages. If you are considering puzzle feeders for mental stimulation, start with simple, inexpensive puzzles to test your cat's interest and ability before investing in expensive, complex feeders. Many cats lose interest in puzzle feeders after initial novelty wears off, and expensive, complicated feeders gather dust when cats refuse to use them. If your cat eats normally from bowls without behavioral problems, and you are present for scheduled feedings, specialized feeders provide minimal benefit, and bowls are simpler and more practical. Feeding equipment should serve your cat's actual needs and your actual household constraints, rather than being purchased because they seem innovative or because marketing suggests all cats benefit from them. Evaluate your specific situation, identify actual problems that need solving, and choose equipment that addresses those problems, rather than acquiring specialized feeders that solve problems you do not have. Comparison 6. Limited ingredient versus standard formula. Limited ingredient diets have emerged as a major category in pet food marketing over the past decade, positioned as premium solutions for cats with food sensitivities, allergies, or digestive issues, and increasingly marketed to healthy cats as cleaner, simpler, or more natural nutrition compared to standard formulas with longer ingredient lists. The fundamental premise of limited ingredient diets, commonly abbreviated as LID, is that restricting the number of ingredients reduces the likelihood of including ingredients that trigger adverse reactions, simplifies identification of problem ingredients when reactions occur, and provides cleaner nutrition by eliminating unnecessary fillers, additives, and ingredients that serve manufacturing purposes rather than nutritional purposes. The marketing narrative around limited ingredient diets creates the impression that fewer ingredients equals better nutrition, and that standard formulas with more ingredients are inferior or problematic for cats. The reality is more nuanced. Limited ingredient diets serve specific medical purposes for cats with diagnosed food allergies or sensitivities, but for healthy cats without adverse food reactions. Limited ingredient formulas provide no advantages over properly formulated standard diets, and may actually provide inferior nutrition due to narrower ingredient bases that limit nutritional flexibility. This comparison examines what limited ingredient diets actually contain and how they differ from standard formulas, what the genuine medical applications are versus marketing-driven applications, what the nutritional trade-offs are when limiting ingredients, and how to make informed decisions about whether limited ingredient feeding is appropriate for your cat. Let's start with what defines a limited ingredient diet and what the typical formulation strategies are. Limited ingredient diets are formulated with restricted numbers of protein sources, carbohydrate sources, and other ingredients, typically featuring one novel or uncommon protein such as duck, venison, or rabbit, one carbohydrate source such as pea or sweet potato, and minimal additional ingredients beyond vitamins and minerals required to meet nutritional standards. The defining characteristic is not just fewer total ingredients, but specifically limiting protein and carbohydrate variety, to simplify the diet and to use ingredients that are less commonly fed and therefore less likely to have been encountered by cats with food allergies. The novel protein concept is central to limited ingredient diet formulation for medical purposes. Novel proteins are proteins that the individual cat has never eaten before, and they are used in elimination diets to diagnose and manage food allergies, because the cat's immune system cannot be allergic to a protein it has never been exposed to. Common novel proteins in limited ingredient cat foods include duck, venison, rabbit, kangaroo, and various fish species that are less common than the chicken, beef, and fish found in standard formulas. The single protein source limitation in most LID formulations means the food contains one primary protein and does not include multiple meat sources. This differs from standard formulas that often contain chicken as primary protein with added fish meal, egg, or other proteins to enhance amino acid profiles and palatability. The single protein approach simplifies identification of allergenic proteins when adverse reactions occur, because any reaction can be attributed to the single protein, rather than requiring investigation of which among multiple proteins is problematic. The limited carbohydrate approach restricts carbohydrate sources to one or two ingredients, rather than the mixture of grains, potatoes, and other carbohydrates common in standard formulas. The single carbohydrate source serves the same diagnostic purpose as single protein, allowing identification of carbohydrate sensitivities if reactions occur. Now let's examine the medical applications where limited ingredient diets genuinely provide benefit. Diagnosed food allergies are the primary legitimate medical indication for limited ingredient diets. Cats with confirmed food allergies identified through elimination diet trials require long-term feeding of diets that exclude allergenic ingredients, and limited ingredient formulas using novel proteins that the cat has not reacted to provide this management. For these cats, LID feeding is medical nutrition that controls disease rather than optional premium feeding. Elimination diet trials for diagnosing suspected food allergies use limited ingredient diets with novel proteins to determine whether food allergy is present and to identify safe ingredients. The trial involves feeding only the limited ingredient diet, with no treats, table food, or other food sources for 8 to 12 weeks, while monitoring for symptom resolution. If symptoms resolve during the trial and return when previous diet is reintroduced, food allergy is confirmed. Limited ingredient formulation is essential for this diagnostic process because it provides controlled ingredient exposure. Inflammatory bowel disease management in some cats benefits from limited ingredient diets, though the mechanism is unclear and the response is variable. Some IBD cats show improvement on limited ingredient diets, while others show no response. And dietary management of IBD is individualized, based on trial and response rather than following universal protocols. Chronic diarrhea or vomiting of unclear cause sometimes responds to limited ingredient diet trials, and when response occurs and symptoms resolve, continued LID feeding is appropriate even without definitive allergy diagnosis. The principle is that if the diet works to control symptoms, continue the diet regardless of whether the underlying mechanism is understood. The marketing-driven applications where limited ingredient diets are promoted to healthy cats without medical indications are problematic because they position LID as superior nutrition when it is actually medical nutrition for specific conditions. Sensitive stomach marketing positions limited ingredient diets as solutions for cats who vomit occasionally or who have soft stools intermittently, implying that standard formulas are too complex or too harsh for these cats. The reality is that occasional digestive upset is normal and does not indicate need for medical diets, and most cats with intermittent symptoms do fine on standard formulas when fed appropriately and when other causes like eating too fast or hairballs are addressed. Cleaner or simpler nutrition claims position limited ingredient diets as more natural or more aligned with how cats should eat, based on the fallacy that fewer ingredients means purer or better nutrition. This narrative ignores that nutritional completeness often requires diverse ingredient bases that provide varied nutrient sources, and that limiting ingredients can actually compromise nutritional quality if formulation becomes constrained. General health optimization marketing suggests that all cats benefit from limited ingredient feeding, even without adverse reactions to standard diets, based on claims that reducing ingredient complexity supports better digestion or reduces unknown sensitivities that may be present but undiagnosed. This represents mission creep, where medical diets are repositioned as premium everyday diets for healthy cats who do not need them. The nutritional trade-offs from limiting ingredients are real and are often unacknowledged in marketing materials. The amino acid profile constraints from single protein sources can be problematic because different proteins have different amino acid compositions, and some single proteins provide less optimal amino acid profiles than mixed protein formulations. Blending multiple proteins allows formulation flexibility to achieve ideal amino acid ratios, while single proteins may require more extensive amino acid supplementation to meet requirements. The nutrient density variability means that some novel proteins used in limited ingredient diets are less nutrient dense than common proteins, requiring larger portion sizes to meet calorie and protein requirements. For example, rabbit is lower in fat and calories than chicken on a per-weight basis, meaning rabbit-based diets may require larger portions than chicken-based diets to provide equivalent nutrition. The palatability issues with some novel proteins limit acceptance by picky cats. Proteins like venison or duck that cats have not encountered before may be less immediately palatable than familiar proteins, and some cats refuse limited ingredient diets, even when medically indicated, because they find the novel proteins unpalatable. The cost premium for limited ingredient diets is substantial, with LID formulas typically costing 30 to 50% more than comparable standard formulas from the same manufacturer. The premium pricing reflects both the higher cost of novel proteins and the positioning of LID as specialty medical nutrition, but for healthy cats without medical need, the premium is paid for marketing positioning rather than for nutritional superiority. Let's address the specific situations where limited ingredient diets are appropriate, versus situations where standard formulas are preferable. Limited ingredient diets are appropriate for cats with diagnosed food allergies, requiring exclusion of specific proteins, elimination diet trials to diagnose suspected food allergies, cats with chronic digestive issues that have responded to limited ingredient trials, and where symptoms recur on standard diets, IBD cats who have shown response to limited ingredient management. Standard formulas are appropriate for healthy cats without food allergies or chronic digestive issues, cats who have never shown adverse reactions to food, situations where nutritional optimization through ingredient diversity is goal, cost-conscious feeding where premium pricing of LID is not justified by medical need. The diagnostic consideration is important. Do not assume your cat needs limited ingredient diet without attempting diagnosis of actual food sensitivity or allergy. Many cats with intermittent digestive symptoms have causes other than food sensitivity, including hairballs, eating too quickly, stress, or parasites, and addressing the actual cause is more appropriate than defaulting to expensive medical diets. The unnecessary restriction concern is that feeding limited ingredient diets to cats who do not need them limits future options if true food allergies develop later. If a cat eats limited ingredient duck formula for years without medical need, then develops food allergy that includes duck, one novel protein option has been exhausted unnecessarily. Preserving novel proteins for true medical need, rather than using them recreationally, maintains options for future allergy management. The verdict: limited ingredient diets are medical nutrition for cats with diagnosed food allergies, chronic food sensitivities, or digestive conditions that have responded to ingredient limitation. For these cats, LID feeding is appropriate and necessary disease management. Limited ingredient diets do not provide nutritional advantages over standard formulas for healthy cats without adverse food reactions, and marketing positioning that suggests LID is superior. Everyday nutrition is not supported by evidence. Standard formulas provide complete nutrition and are appropriate and often nutritionally superior for cats without medical indications for ingredient restriction. The cost premium for limited ingredient diets is justified when medical need exists, but represents unnecessary expense when paid for healthy cats based on marketing claims, rather than medical necessity. If your cat is healthy and eats standard formula without digestive problems, there is no reason to switch to limited ingredient diet, and doing so increases cost without providing benefit. Continue feeding quality standard formula. If your cat has chronic vomiting, diarrhea, or skin issues, and food sensitivity is suspected, consult your veterinarian about whether elimination diet trial is appropriate before purchasing limited ingredient diets. Proper diagnosis guides appropriate diet selection, rather than trial and error experimentation with expensive medical formulas. If food allergy has been diagnosed through proper elimination diet trial, and your cat requires long-term limited ingredient feeding, the premium cost is justified as medical expense, and LID feeding is appropriate disease management. Limited ingredient diets solve specific medical problems for specific cats. They are not superior general nutrition for all cats, and positioning them as premium everyday food for healthy cats is marketing rather than science. Feed medical diets when medical need exists, and feed standard quality formulas when medical need does not exist. The distinction matters for both nutrition and budget. Comparison 7. Senior cat food versus adult food for cats, 10+ years. The pet food industry has created distinct life stage categories, including kitten, adult, and senior formulas, and the marketing narrative around senior cat food positions these formulas as essential for cats entering their senior years, typically defined as age 7 to 10 and beyond. Senior formulas are marketed with claims that they address the changing nutritional needs of aging cats through reduced calorie density to prevent weight gain, modified protein, levels to support aging organs, enhanced joint support ingredients, and various other formulation adjustments claimed to be specifically appropriate for older cats. The positioning creates the impression that feeding adult formula to senior cats is nutritionally inadequate, and that transitioning to senior formula at the appropriate age is necessary for continued health. The question is whether senior-specific formulas actually provide nutritional advantages over high-quality adult formulas for healthy senior cats, or whether the life stage categorization is primarily marketing that justifies product line expansion and premium pricing without delivering meaningful nutritional benefits that cannot be achieved through continued feeding of properly selected adult foods. This comparison examines what actually changes nutritionally as cats age, and what those changes mean for dietary needs, what senior formulas contain that differs from adult formulas, and whether those differences provide genuine benefit, how to evaluate whether your individual senior cat needs specialized nutrition or whether adult formula continuation is appropriate, and how to make informed decisions about senior feeding based on your cat's health status rather than on marketing claims about life stages. Let's start with what actually changes as cats age and what the nutritional implications are. Metabolic rate changes in senior cats vary by individual, but on average decrease modestly with age, meaning senior cats burn slightly fewer calories at rest than younger adults. This creates increased risk for weight gain if food intake is not adjusted to match reduced calorie needs. However, the metabolic change is individual and not universal. Some senior cats maintain metabolic rates similar to younger adults, while other seniors actually have increased calorie needs due to reduced ability to digest and absorb nutrients efficiently from food. Muscle mass loss, called sarcopenia, occurs progressively with aging and is driven by multiple factors, including reduced activity, reduced protein synthesis efficiency, and various hormonal changes. Maintaining muscle mass in senior cats is critical for mobility, strength, and overall health, and adequate high-quality protein intake is essential for minimizing muscle loss. The traditional approach of reducing protein in senior diets, based on outdated concerns about protein causing kidney disease, has been largely abandoned because research shows that high protein does not cause kidney disease in cats, and that adequate protein is necessary to prevent muscle wasting in seniors. Kidney function decline occurs in many, but not all senior cats, and ranges from subtle changes detectable only on blood work to clinical chronic kidney disease requiring medical management. The nutritional implications of kidney disease include potential need for phosphorus restriction, sodium restriction in some cases, and emphasis on high digestibility to reduce metabolic waste. However, these modifications are appropriate for cats with diagnosed kidney disease, not for all senior cats universally. Dental disease becomes increasingly prevalent with age and can affect eating ability, food preferences, and nutrient intake. Cats with painful dental disease may prefer softer foods and may eat less if only hard food is offered. The nutritional solution is addressing dental disease through professional cleaning and extractions when indicated, not through feeding softer food that accommodates disease rather than treating it. Decreased thirst drive and reduced kidney concentrating ability in some senior cats increases risk for dehydration and for urinary tract disease. Increased water intake through wet food or water supplementation benefits senior cats, regardless of whether they have diagnosed kidney disease, because hydration supports kidney function and urinary tract health. Now let's examine what senior cat food formulations actually contain and how they differ from adult formulas. Reduced calorie density in many senior formulas is achieved through increased fiber content and reduced fat content, creating foods that provide fewer calories per cup or can compared to adult formulas. The intention is to prevent weight gain in seniors with reduced calorie needs, but the actual outcome depends on whether the individual cat has reduced needs or not. For seniors who maintain high metabolic rates or who have begun losing weight, reduced calorie density requires larger food volumes to meet energy needs and may contribute to inadequate intake if the cat cannot or will not consume the larger portions required. Protein levels in senior formulas vary enormously by brand and reflect the ongoing controversy about appropriate protein levels for senior cats. Some senior formulas reduce protein based on outdated beliefs that high protein stresses kidneys, while other senior formulas maintain or even increase protein based on current understanding that adequate protein prevents muscle loss and does not harm healthy kidneys. The variation means that senior formula provides no consistent signal about protein content, and protein levels must be evaluated individually for each product. Phosphorus restriction in some senior formulas is implemented based on research showing that phosphorus restriction benefits cats with chronic kidney disease. However, phosphorus restriction for healthy senior cats without kidney disease is not supported by evidence and may actually be problematic if restriction is aggressive enough to compromise bone health or other phosphorus-dependent processes. Appropriate phosphorus restriction is medical nutrition for diagnosed kidney disease, not preventive nutrition for all seniors. Joint support ingredients, including glucosamine and chondroitin, are added to many senior formulas, with claims of supporting joint health and mobility. The evidence for effectiveness of oral glucosamine and chondroitin in cats is weak, and the doses included in food are typically lower than therapeutic doses used in supplement form. The joint support claims are marketing positioning more than evidence-based nutrition. Antioxidants and omega-3 fatty acids are enhanced in some senior formulas based on theories that aging increases oxidative stress and that omega-3s support cognitive function and reduce inflammation. While these additions are not harmful and may provide modest benefits, they are not unique to senior formulas, and many high-quality adult formulas already include similar ingredients at similar or higher levels. The cost comparison between senior and adult formulas shows that senior formulas typically command 10 to 30% price premiums over comparable adult formulas from the same brand, reflecting the positioning of senior formulas as specialized life-stage nutrition. The question is whether the formulation differences justify the premium, or whether the premium is paid for marketing positioning rather than for meaningful nutritional superiority. The individual variation in senior nutritional needs is substantial and means that universal senior formulas cannot optimally meet the needs of all cats over age 10. Senior cats span enormous range of health status, from robust, healthy cats who are physiologically young for their age, to frail cats with multiple chronic diseases requiring medical management. One formula category cannot serve this diversity. An individualized nutrition based on actual health status is more appropriate than life stage-based nutrition that assumes all seniors share similar needs. Let's examine the specific situations where senior formulas provide genuine benefit versus situations where adult formula continuation is appropriate. Senior formulas are beneficial for senior cats who are overweight or prone to weight gain and who need reduced calorie density to support weight management, senior cats with diagnosed chronic kidney disease stage 2 or higher requiring phosphorus restriction, senior cats with specific medical conditions, where formulation of senior formula aligns with medical nutritional needs. Adult formulas are appropriate for healthy senior cats maintaining appropriate body weight and showing no signs of organ disease, senior cats who are underweight or losing weight and who need calorie-dense food to maintain weight, senior cats who have always eaten high-quality adult formula and who are thriving on that diet with normal blood work and body condition. The switching decision point should be based on individual health assessment rather than on reaching specific age. A healthy, robust 10-year-old cat with normal blood work and ideal body condition does not need senior formula simply because they have reached senior age. A 7-year-old cat who is overweight and showing early kidney disease changes may benefit from dietary modifications regardless of not yet being in the traditional senior category. The blood work monitoring importance for senior cats means that feeding decisions should be informed by actual organ function status, rather than by assumptions about what seniors need. Annual or twice-yearly blood work reveals kidney function, liver function, thyroid status, and other parameters that guide whether specialized nutrition is needed or whether continued adult formula is appropriate. The body condition monitoring through regular weighing and body condition scoring identifies whether calorie density needs adjustment up or down. guiding whether reduced calorie senior formula, standard adult formula, or even calorie-enhanced formula is appropriate for the individual cat. The gradual transition approach of switching to senior formula is important because abrupt diet changes can cause digestive upset, even in formulas marketed for the same life stage. Transitioning over 7 to 10 days, mixing increasing proportions of senior formula with decreasing adult formula allows digestive adaptation. The verdict: senior cat formulas are not universally necessary for cats over age 10 and do not provide automatic nutritional advantages over high-quality adult formulas for healthy senior cats without organ disease or weight management needs. The decision to switch to senior formula or to continue adult formula should be based on individual health assessment, including blood work results, body condition, activity level, and specific medical conditions, rather than on age alone. For healthy senior cats, maintaining appropriate weight on high-quality adult formula and showing normal blood work, continuing adult formula is appropriate, and switching to senior formula provides no benefit and may increase cost without improving nutrition. For senior cats who are overweight, who have chronic kidney disease, or who have specific conditions where senior formula addresses medical nutritional needs, switching to appropriately selected senior formula provides genuine benefit. The life stage marketing creates the impression that all cats need formula changes at specific ages, but nutritional needs are determined by health status and individual variation rather than by calendar age. A healthy 12-year-old may have identical nutritional needs to a healthy 5-year-old, while two 12-year-olds with different health conditions may need completely different nutritional approaches. If your senior cat is healthy and thriving on adult formula, do not switch to senior formula based solely on age. Monitor health through regular blood work, maintain appropriate body condition, and adjust diet if and when health changes create specific nutritional needs, rather than preemptively switching based on life stage marketing. If your senior cat has chronic kidney disease, is overweight, or has specific medical conditions, discuss whether senior formula or medical formula is appropriate with your veterinarian. Base the decision on actual medical needs rather than on assumptions about what seniors need. Senior cats need individualized nutrition based on their unique health status. They do not all need the same formula, simply because they are old. Feed your senior cat the food that maintains their health, supports their body condition, and addresses any medical conditions present, whether that food is labeled adult, senior, or medical formula. The label matters less than the match between formulation and individual needs. Comparison 8: Organic versus conventional ingredients. The organic food movement that began in human nutrition has extended into pet food, creating a market segment where organic certified cat foods command substantial price premiums over conventional foods based on marketing claims that organic ingredients are healthier, safer, more nutritious, and more environmentally sustainable than conventionally produced ingredients. Organic certification requires that ingredients meet specific production standards, including prohibition of synthetic pesticides, herbicides, antibiotics, and hormones, and requirements for organic feed for livestock and adherence to animal welfare standards that exceed conventional production minimums. The certification process is rigorous and expensive, and organic cat foods typically cost 50 to 100% more than comparable conventional foods, creating significant budget impact for cat owners who choose organic feeding. The question is whether organic ingredients provide meaningful health, safety, or nutritional advantages for cats that justify the substantial cost premium, or whether organic certification is primarily a marketing positioning tool that appeals to human values and preferences without delivering benefits that affect cat health outcomes. This comparison examines what organic certification actually requires and how organic ingredients differ from conventional ingredients, what the evidence shows about nutritional content and safety differences between organic and conventional ingredients, what the environmental and ethical considerations are, and whether they justify individual purchasing decisions. and how to make informed decisions about organic versus conventional feeding based on actual benefits rather than on marketing narratives. Let's start with what organic certification means and what production practices are required for ingredients to be certified organic. Organic certification standards in the United States are established by the USDA National Organic Program and require that plant ingredients are grown without synthetic pesticides, herbicides, or fertilizers, using only approved natural substances for pest and weed control and for soil fertilization. Animal ingredients, including meat, poultry, and dairy, must come from animals fed organic feed, given no antibiotics or growth hormones, and provided access to outdoors and living conditions that meet organic animal welfare standards. The certification verification process involves inspection of production facilities, review of production records, testing for prohibited substances, and ongoing compliance monitoring. The certification is not a one-time approval, but requires annual renewal and continuous adherence to standards, creating administrative burden and cost that contributes to organic food price premiums. The allowed and prohibited substances lists define what can and cannot be used in organic production, with synthetic pesticides and fertilizers prohibited, and natural substances like certain botanical extracts, biological pest controls, and mineral-based fertilizers allowed. The distinction between synthetic and natural is not always aligned with safety or effectiveness, and some natural substances allowed in organic production are more toxic or environmentally harmful than some synthetic substances prohibited in organic production. The percentage requirements for foods labeled organic vary by labeling category. Foods labeled 100% organic must contain only organic ingredients. Foods labeled organic must contain at least 95% organic ingredients. Foods labeled made with organic ingredients must contain at least 70% organic ingredients. The remaining percentage in foods not labeled 100% organic can include conventional ingredients from a specific allowed list. Now, let's examine the claimed benefits of organic ingredients and what evidence supports or refutes these claims. Claim: organic ingredients are more nutritious than conventional ingredients. The evidence for nutritional superiority of organic ingredients is weak and inconsistent. Meta-analyses comparing nutritional content of organic versus conventional crops show no consistent meaningful differences in macronutrient content, including protein, fat, and carbohydrates, and show only modest differences in some micronutrients, with organic crops showing slightly higher levels of some antioxidants, and conventional crops showing slightly higher levels of some vitamins and minerals. The differences are small, inconsistent across studies, and not clearly attributable to organic versus conventional practices versus other variables like soil quality, climate, and crop variety. For animal products including meat and dairy, organic production shows modest differences in fatty acid profiles, with organic products showing slightly higher omega-3 fatty acid content. But the differences are not large enough to meaningfully affect health outcomes when organic versus conventional products are included in complete balanced cat foods, where fatty acid profiles are adjusted through formulation, regardless of base ingredient profiles. Claim: organic ingredients are safer because they contain no pesticide residues. The reality is more nuanced. Organic production prohibits synthetic pesticides, but allows natural pesticides, and residue testing shows that organic produce can contain residues of natural pesticides used in organic farming. Conventional produce does contain residues of synthetic pesticides, but residue levels in food sold in the United States are heavily regulated and monitored to ensure they remain below safety thresholds established to protect human health. Pesticide residues in both organic and conventional pet foods are extremely low and well below levels that would cause health concerns for cats. The pet food processing, including cooking, rendering, and formulation, further reduces pesticide residues from both organic and conventional ingredients, meaning the final product pesticide levels are negligible, regardless of whether organic or conventional ingredients are used. Claim: organic production is better for animal welfare. Organic animal welfare standards do require outdoor access and living conditions that exceed minimum requirements for conventional production, and for consumers concerned about animal welfare, organic certification provides some assurance that animals were raised with better welfare standards than conventional minimum requirements. However, organic certification does not guarantee optimal welfare, and welfare quality varies substantially between organic producers, just as it does between conventional producers. The relevance of production animal welfare to cat health is indirect at best. While supporting better animal welfare through purchasing decisions reflects human values, the welfare of livestock used in cat food production does not affect the nutritional value or safety of the food for cats consuming it. Claim: organic production is more environmentally sustainable. The environmental impact of organic versus conventional agriculture is complex and not consistently favorable to organic. Organic production uses fewer synthetic inputs and promotes soil health through crop rotation and organic matter additions, which provides environmental benefits. However, organic production typically yields less product per acre than conventional production, meaning more land must be farmed to produce equivalent food quantities, which can offset the per-acre environmental benefits when total land use is considered. The environmental impact of cat food production also includes factors beyond organic versus conventional ingredient sourcing, including processing energy use, packaging, and transportation, and focusing exclusively on organic ingredient sourcing, while ignoring these other factors, provides incomplete environmental assessment. The cost analysis of organic cat food reveals that organic formulas cost 50 to 100% more than comparable conventional formulas, representing substantial ongoing expense. For a cat eating organic food costing $4 per day compared to conventional food costing $2 per day, the annual cost difference is approximately $730. For multiple cat households, the cumulative cost of organic feeding for all cats can be thousands of dollars annually. The question is whether this cost differential is justified by health benefits for cats, and the evidence suggests it is not. The nutritional and safety differences between organic and conventional ingredients are too small to measurably affect cat health outcomes, meaning the premium paid for organic is for human values and preferences rather than for cat health benefit. The individual financial situation consideration matters because for some households, the cost differential between organic and conventional food is negligible relative to household income, and paying premium for organic aligns with personal values without creating financial stress. For other households, the cost differential represents significant budget impact that affects household financial stability, or that reduces budget available for other cat care expenses, including veterinary care that does meaningfully affect cat health. Let's address the specific situations where organic feeding might be justified versus situations where conventional feeding is appropriate. Organic feeding is reasonable when personal values strongly prioritize organic food, and household budget easily accommodates the premium without compromising other cat care expenses. Environmental and animal welfare concerns are important to the household, and organic purchasing supports those values. The household feeds organic food to humans, and extending organic feeding to cats aligns with household food philosophy. Conventional feeding is appropriate when budget is constrained, and premium for organic reduces budget available for veterinary care or other health-critical expenses. Cat health and evidence-based nutrition are prioritized over production method preferences. Cost-benefit analysis does not support paying premium for benefits that do not measurably improve cat health. The mixed approach using organic for some ingredients or some meals, while using conventional for others, provides middle ground that supports organic values while managing cost. However, the health benefit of partial organic feeding is no greater than the health benefit of full organic feeding, which is to say effectively zero, meaning the mixed approach serves budget management rather than health optimization. The priority consideration for cat nutrition is that food quality, completeness, and appropriateness for the individual cat's needs matter far more than whether ingredients are organic or conventional. Feeding high-quality conventional food that meets the cat's nutritional requirements and maintains healthy body condition provides better outcomes than feeding organic food that does not meet nutritional needs or that does not suit the individual cat. The verdict: organic ingredients do not provide meaningful nutritional or safety advantages over conventional ingredients for cats, and the substantial cost premium for organic cat food is paid for production method and certification, rather than for nutritional superiority or health benefits that affect cats. The decision to feed organic cat food is a values-based decision about supporting organic agriculture, animal welfare, and environmental practices, rather than an evidence-based health decision. An owner should understand that organic feeding serves human preferences rather than cat health needs. Conventional high-quality cat foods provide complete nutrition and are safe for cats, and choosing conventional over organic does not compromise cat health or well-being. If organic feeding aligns with your values and your budget comfortably accommodates the premium, organic feeding is a reasonable choice that supports your principles. However, if budget is constrained, or if the organic premium reduces budget available for veterinary care or other health-critical expenses, prioritize those expenses over organic food because they provide measurable health benefit, while organic certification does not. If you are currently feeding organic food because you believe it is healthier or safer for your cat, understand that evidence does not support health advantages, and that switching to high-quality conventional food will not compromise your cat's health while saving substantial money that can be allocated to veterinary preventive care, emergency savings, or other expenses that do affect cat well-being. Feed your cat based on nutritional quality, completeness, and appropriateness for their individual needs, rather than on production method certification. Organic ingredients are not superior nutrition for cats, despite being more expensive, and conventional ingredients in properly formulated foods provide everything cats need for optimal health. Comparison: 9. Fresh food delivery services versus store-bought food. The pet food market has been disrupted over the past 5 to 10 years by the emergence of fresh food delivery services that position themselves as revolutionary alternatives to traditional commercial cat food, marketing their products as human-grade, minimally processed, refrigerated fresh meals delivered directly to customers on subscription schedules. These services, including brands like Smalls, Nom Nom, and others, use marketing narratives emphasizing fresh whole ingredients, gentle cooking methods that preserve nutrients, absence of preservatives and artificial ingredients, and personalized formulation based on the individual cat's age, weight, and health status. The pricing for fresh food delivery is dramatically higher than store-bought food, typically 3 to 4 times the cost of premium canned food and 5 to 10 times the cost of mid-range canned food, creating significant ongoing expense that affects household budgets. The question is whether fresh food delivery provides nutritional advantages, health benefits, or feeding convenience that justify the substantial cost premium, or whether the fresh food narrative is primarily marketing that appeals to human food trends and concerns without delivering outcomes for cats that cannot be achieved through properly selected, store-bought foods at fraction of the cost. This comparison examines what fresh food delivery actually provides and how it differs from store-bought options, what the claimed benefits are, and whether evidence supports them, what the practical and financial realities of fresh food delivery are, and how to make informed decisions about whether fresh food feeding is appropriate for your situation. Let's start with what fresh food delivery services actually provide and how their products differ from store-bought cat food. Fresh food formulations use whole meat, organ meat, and sometimes vegetables cooked gently through methods like sous vide or low-temperature roasting, then packaged in refrigerated pouches or containers and shipped frozen or refrigerated to customers. The formulations are designed to meet AAFCO nutritional standards through whole ingredient combinations, supplemented with vitamins and minerals, similar to commercial cat food but using fresh ingredients rather than rendered meals, and using refrigeration for preservation rather than canning or other shelf-stable processing. The human-grade claim means ingredients meet safety and quality standards for human food, rather than meeting only pet food ingredient standards, which allows use of muscle meat cuts and whole organs rather than meat meals, and meat byproducts common in conventional pet food. The distinction is primarily regulatory and quality related, rather than nutritional, because properly processed meat meals provide equivalent nutritional value to fresh meat when properly formulated into complete foods. Minimal processing emphasis in fresh food marketing positions. Gentle cooking as preserving nutrients that are destroyed by high-temperature processing in canned and dry food manufacturing. The reality is that all cooking, whether gentle or high temperature, causes some nutrient degradation, and commercial cat foods are formulated with excess nutrients to account for processing losses, meaning final products meet nutritional standards regardless of processing method. Fresh food's gentle processing may preserve some heat-sensitive nutrients better than high-temperature processing, but the practical significance for cats eating nutritionally complete diets is minimal. Refrigeration requirement means fresh food must be stored, frozen, or refrigerated, and has limited shelf life after thawing, typically 5 to 7 days, creating storage and handling requirements that shelf-stable canned or dry food does not have. The refrigeration prevents bacterial growth without chemical preservatives, which appeals to owners concerned about additives, but creates practical complications for travel, for power outages, and for households with limited refrigerator and freezer space. Personalization claims suggest that fresh food is formulated specifically for each cat based on questionnaire responses about age, weight, activity level, and health status, creating customized nutrition that generic store-bought food cannot provide. The reality is that personalization in fresh food services primarily affects portion size recommendations and sometimes protein source selection, not fundamental nutritional formulation, because all cats have the same essential nutrient requirements, and AAFCO standards apply universally, regardless of individual variation. Now let's examine the claimed benefits of fresh food and whether evidence supports these claims. Claim: fresh food is more nutritious than store-bought food. This claim is not supported when comparing fresh food to high-quality store-bought canned food that meets AAFCO standards. Both provide complete and balanced nutrition, and nutritional content differences reflect formulation choices rather than fresh versus processed distinctions. Fresh food is not inherently more nutritious than properly formulated commercial food, and many store-bought foods contain higher levels of some nutrients than fresh foods depending on specific formulations. Claim: fresh food improves health outcomes, including better coat quality, more energy, and better digestion. The testimonial evidence from fresh food customers frequently includes reports of improved coat, increased energy, and better stool quality. But these reports are subject to placebo effects, confirmation bias, and the reality that cats transitioning from low-quality food to any higher quality food often show improvements that reflect the quality increase rather than the fresh versus processed distinction. Cats switched from low-quality dry food to fresh food may show improvements, but cats switched from low-quality dry food to high-quality canned food show similar improvements. Controlled studies comparing health outcomes between fresh food and high-quality commercial food are limited, and existing evidence does not demonstrate that fresh food produces superior health outcomes compared to properly selected commercial foods. Claim: fresh food is safer because it avoids preservatives, artificial ingredients, and contamination risks in commercial food. The preservative avoidance is true for fresh food that uses refrigeration for preservation, but the safety advantage is questionable because preservatives in commercial pet food are present at levels established as safe, and because fresh food's limited shelf life and refrigeration requirement create different safety risks, including spoilage if storage is inadequate and bacterial growth if temperature control fails. The contamination risk in commercial pet food through recalls is real, but affects both premium and economy foods, and is not eliminated by choosing fresh food. Because fresh food manufacturers also experience occasional recalls for bacterial contamination or formulation errors. Food safety depends on manufacturing quality control, rather than on fresh versus commercial category. The cost comparison reveals the dramatic price differential that is the most significant practical consideration for most households. Fresh food delivery costs approximately $8 to $15 per day for average adult cats depending on service and cat size, equating to $240 to $450 per month or $2,880 to $5,400 annually. For multiple cat households, the cost scales directly with cat number, making fresh food financially prohibitive for many households with 2 or more cats. Premium canned food costs approximately $2 to $4 per day for comparable quality feeding, equating to $60 to $120 per month or $720 to $1,440 annually. The cost differential between fresh food and premium canned is $2,160 to $3,960 annually per cat, representing substantial ongoing expense. Mid-range canned food costs approximately $1 to $2 per day, equating to $30 to $60 per month, or $360 to $720 annually. The cost differential between fresh food and mid-range canned is even larger, representing $2,520 to $5,040 annually per cat. The value proposition question asks what the additional $2,000 to $5,000 per year buys beyond what store-bought food provides. And the answer, based on nutritional and health outcome evidence, is that the premium buys fresh food marketing and convenience of delivery, rather than superior nutrition or health that cannot be achieved through store-bought options. The practical considerations include storage requirements for large quantities of frozen food, taking up freezer space that may not be available in small kitchens or in households already using freezer space for human food storage. The thawing planning requirement means meals must be thawed in advance, creating scheduling demands that shelf-stable canned food does not have. The travel complications arise because fresh food cannot accompany cats on trips without coolers, and because interrupting delivery schedule during travel requires advanced planning. The subscription inflexibility in some fresh food services creates pressure to maintain subscription even when circumstances change, because pausing or canceling may affect pricing or future availability. The contractual commitment in some services requires minimum subscription periods, creating financial obligation beyond trial periods. Let's address the specific situations where fresh food might be justified versus situations where store-bought food is more appropriate. Fresh food delivery might be justified for households with very high income where the cost premium is negligible relative to household resources. Single cat households where absolute cost is manageable, even if cost per meal is high. Cats with specific medical conditions where fresh food formulations align with medical nutritional needs, better than available commercial medical diets. Owners who have exhausted store-bought options without finding food, the cat will eat consistently. Store-bought food is more appropriate for multi-cat households where fresh food cost becomes prohibitive when multiplied across multiple cats. Budget-conscious households where the cost differential affects financial stability or reduces budget available for veterinary care. Households prioritizing evidence-based nutrition over food trends and marketing narratives. Situations where storage space, travel frequency, or lifestyle make refrigeration requirements impractical. The trial period consideration for households interested in fresh food is to use trial periods or small initial orders to assess whether the individual cat actually shows improvements before committing to long-term subscription. Because not all cats respond positively to fresh food, and some reject it despite marketing suggesting all cats prefer fresh over processed food. The store-bought quality selection is alternative to fresh food, involves choosing premium canned foods with whole meat ingredients, minimal fillers, and complete nutrition that provide many of the same ingredient quality benefits that fresh food markets at fraction of the cost. Brands like Weruva, Tiki Cat, and others offer whole meat canned foods that are nutritionally comparable to fresh food delivery at much lower prices. The verdict: fresh food delivery services do not provide nutritional superiority or health benefits that justify the 3 to 4 times cost premium over high-quality store-bought canned food for most cats and most households. The fresh food marketing narrative appeals to human food trends and concerns about processing and ingredients, but the claimed health advantages are not supported by evidence when comparing fresh food to properly selected premium commercial foods. Store-bought high-quality canned food provides complete nutrition, uses quality ingredients, and produces excellent health outcomes at fraction of fresh food cost, representing better value for most cat owners. Fresh food delivery is a luxury option that serves owner preferences for minimal processing and for supporting fresh food industry, rather than serving cat nutritional needs that cannot be met through store-bought options. If you are currently using fresh food delivery and your budget comfortably accommodates the cost, continuing fresh food is reasonable if it aligns with your values and preferences. However, if cost is creating financial stress or reducing budget available for veterinary care or emergency savings, switching to premium store-bought canned food will not compromise your cat's nutrition while saving thousands of dollars annually. If you are considering fresh food because you believe it is healthier than store-bought options, understand that evidence does not support health advantages and that properly selected store-bought food provides equivalent nutrition and health outcomes at much lower cost. Feed your cat based on nutritional quality and appropriateness for their needs, rather than on processing method marketing. Fresh food is not superior nutrition, despite being dramatically more expensive, and store-bought quality options provide everything cats need for optimal health without the premium pricing and practical complications of fresh food delivery. Comparison 10. Expensive premium versus mid-range quality food. The price range for commercial cat food spans from budget economy brands costing pennies per meal to ultra-premium boutique brands costing several dollars per meal, and the marketing narratives create the impression that price directly correlates with quality, and that feeding expensive food is necessary for optimal cat health, while mid-range or economy foods represent nutritional compromise that will eventually manifest as health problems. The reality is that price reflects multiple factors, including ingredient sourcing, marketing budgets, brand positioning, packaging design, and distribution costs, not just nutritional quality, and that the most expensive foods are not necessarily the most nutritionally appropriate for all cats. The question for cat owners navigating the overwhelming array of price points and marketing claims is whether expensive premium foods provide nutritional advantages that justify their cost compared to carefully selected mid-range foods that meet quality standards at more accessible prices. This comparison examines what drives price differences between expensive premium and mid-range foods, what nutritional and quality indicators actually matter for cat health versus what are marketing embellishments, how to evaluate whether expensive food provides value proportional to its premium, or whether mid-range quality delivers equivalent nutrition at better value, and how to make informed feeding decisions based on your cat's needs and your budget constraints. Let's start with what actually differentiates expensive premium foods from mid-range quality foods beyond marketing positioning. Ingredient sourcing and quality is the most commonly cited justification for premium pricing, with expensive brands emphasizing human-grade ingredients, name meat sources rather than generic meat meals, and absence of byproducts or fillers. The nutritional significance of these ingredient distinctions is often overstated. Chicken meal, for example, is concentrated protein source that provides excellent nutritional value, despite being processed ingredient rather than fresh chicken. Byproducts, including organ meats like liver and kidney, are highly nutritious and are appropriate ingredients in cat food, despite negative perception from marketing that positions them as inferior. The protein source specification in premium foods, listing deboned chicken or whole turkey as first ingredient, appears more appealing than mid-range foods listing chicken meal or poultry meal, but protein content and amino acid profiles, which determine nutritional value, can be equivalent or even superior in foods using meals compared to foods using whole meats, because meals are concentrated protein, while whole meats contain 70 to 80% water that dilutes protein content by weight. Novel or exotic protein sources including venison, rabbit, duck, or various fish species appear in premium foods and command price premiums based on positioning as superior to common proteins like chicken or turkey. Nutritionally, novel proteins provide the same essential amino acids as common proteins and offer no health advantages for cats without food allergies or sensitivities. The premium paid for novel proteins is for novelty and marketing positioning, rather than for nutritional superiority. Grain-free formulations are prevalent in premium foods and are marketed as more natural or more appropriate for obligate carnivores. But as discussed in earlier comparisons, grain-free status does not predict nutritional quality, and many grain-free foods replace grains with legumes or potatoes that provide similar carbohydrate content. Premium pricing for grain-free formulations reflects marketing trends rather than nutritional advantages. Small batch production and artisanal manufacturing are emphasized in ultra-premium boutique brands, with claims that small batch methods ensure quality control and attention to detail that large-scale manufacturing cannot match. While small batch production may allow closer oversight, it does not guarantee superior nutrition, and many large manufacturers have extensive quality control systems and nutritional expertise that small producers lack. Price premiums for artisanal production reflect production scale economics and brand positioning rather than nutritional superiority. Sustainability and ethical sourcing claims, including wild-caught fish, free-range poultry, and environmentally sustainable ingredient sourcing appear in premium brand marketing and contribute to price premiums. These production method distinctions reflect human values about environmental impact and animal welfare, rather than nutritional differences that affect cat health, meaning premium paid for sustainable sourcing supports values, rather than cat nutrition. Now let's examine what nutritional quality indicators actually matter for cat health and how to evaluate foods across price ranges. AAFCO Nutritional Adequacy Statement is the most important quality indicator and confirms that food meets established nutritional standards through either formulation to meet AAFCO nutrient profiles or through feeding trials demonstrating nutritional adequacy. This statement appears on both expensive premium foods and mid-range foods and indicates that minimum nutritional standards are met regardless of price point. Foods without AAFCO statements should be avoided regardless of price because nutritional adequacy is not confirmed. Protein content and quality measured as percentage of calories from protein and as digestibility are critical for cat health. High-quality foods across price ranges should provide 35 to 50% of calories from protein for adult cats, with protein sourced from animal ingredients rather than plant proteins. Protein digestibility, which indicates how much protein is actually absorbed and used, rather than passing through undigested, is quality indicator that is not directly visible on labels, but is reflected in manufacturer reputation and in feeding trial results. Named fat sources including chicken fat or fish oil are preferable to generic animal fat because specific sources indicate better quality control. Both premium and mid-range quality foods typically specify fat sources, making this a quality indicator that differentiates quality foods from economy foods, but that does not reliably distinguish premium from mid-range. Carbohydrate content can be estimated from guaranteed analysis by subtracting protein, fat, moisture, and ash percentages from 100%. Lower carbohydrate content is generally preferable for obligate carnivores, and quality foods across price ranges tend to have moderate to low carbohydrate levels, while economy foods often have higher carbohydrate from grain or starch fillers. Absence of artificial colors, flavors, and preservatives is common in both premium and mid-range quality foods and represents baseline quality standard rather than premium feature. The presence of artificial additives indicates economy food, rather than their absence indicating premium food. The cost-benefit analysis requires comparing actual nutritional value delivered per dollar spent, rather than comparing price alone. Expensive premium food costing $4 to $6 per day, or $120 to $180 per month provides complete nutrition and may use premium ingredients. But the question is whether the $80 to $120 monthly premium over mid-range food delivers $80 to $120 in additional health value. Evidence suggests it does not for healthy cats without specific medical needs or food sensitivities. Mid-range quality food costing $2 to $3 per day, or $60 to $90 per month, provides complete nutrition meeting AAFCO standards, uses quality ingredients including named protein sources and specified fats, and produces excellent health outcomes for most cats. The cost savings of $60 to $90 monthly, or $720 to $1,080 annually, compared to premium food, can be allocated to veterinary preventive care, emergency savings, or other expenses that measurably affect cat health. Economy food costing under $1 per day or under $30 per month often uses lower quality protein sources, higher grain content, and generic ingredient specifications that create nutritional adequacy questions, even when AAFCO statements are present. The cost savings compared to mid-range quality are modest, typically $30 to $60 monthly, and are not worth the nutritional compromise for most households. The individual cat response consideration is that some cats do show differences in coat quality, stool quality, or energy levels when switched between foods at different price points, but these differences reflect food formulation and individual cat digestive tolerance rather than price-quality correlation. Some cats thrive on mid-range foods and show no improvement when switched to premium, while other cats show digestive upset on some premium foods and do better on certain mid-range options. The feeding trial approach to evaluating whether premium food provides value for your individual cat involves feeding premium food for 6 to 8 weeks while monitoring coat quality, stool quality, body condition, and energy level, then switching to mid-range quality food and monitoring the same parameters. If no deterioration occurs on mid-range food, the premium provides no benefit for your cat. If improvement occurs on premium food that disappears on mid-range, the premium provides individual value. Let's address the specific situations where expensive premium food might be justified versus situations where mid-range quality is more appropriate. Expensive premium food might be justified for cats with food sensitivities or allergies requiring novel proteins or limited ingredient formulations only available in premium brands. Very picky cats who refuse mid-range options but accept premium formulations. Households with high income where premium cost is negligible relative to household resources and where supporting premium brands aligns with values. Specific medical conditions where premium medical foods provide formulations not available in mid-range medical diets. Mid-range quality food is appropriate for healthy cats without food sensitivities who thrive on quality foods, meeting nutritional standards. Multi-cat households where premium cost multiplied across cats creates substantial expense. Budget-conscious households where cost savings enable better allocation to veterinary care and emergency savings. Most cats in most situations where properly selected mid-range quality provides complete nutrition and excellent health outcomes. The brand reputation and recall history consideration suggests evaluating manufacturers on safety record and quality control rather than on price point because expensive brands and mid-range brands both have experienced recalls and both include manufacturers with excellent safety records. The ingredient label reading skills enable identifying quality mid-range foods that provide nutritional value comparable to premium foods at lower cost. Named protein sources as first ingredients, specified fat sources, moderate carbohydrate content, and absence of artificial additives appear in mid-range foods that cost 30 to 50% less than premium foods with similar formulations. The verdict Expensive premium cat foods do not provide nutritional advantages that justify their substantial cost premiums over carefully selected mid-range quality foods for most cats in most situations. Price reflects brand positioning, marketing, and production method choices that appeal to human preferences rather than nutritional superiority that affects cat health. Mid-range quality foods that meet AAFCO standards, use named protein sources, provide appropriate protein levels, and are manufactured by reputable companies with good safety records, deliver complete nutrition and support excellent health outcomes at significantly lower costs than premium foods. The cost savings from choosing mid-range quality over premium, typically $60 to $100 monthly, or $720 to $1,200 annually per CADE, can be allocated to veterinary preventive care, dental care, emergency savings, or other expenses that measurably improve cat health and owner financial security. If you are currently feeding expensive premium food and your budget comfortably accommodates the cost, continuing premium feeding is reasonable. However, if cost is creating financial stress or preventing adequate veterinary care or emergency savings, switching to mid-range quality will not compromise your cat's nutrition while substantially reducing feeding expense. If you are feeding premium food because you believe it is necessary for optimal cat health, understand that evidence does not support this belief and that properly selected mid-range foods provide equivalent nutrition and health outcomes. Evaluate cat food based on nutritional quality indicators, including AAFCO adequacy statements, protein content and sources, ingredient quality, and manufacturer reputation rather than on price or premium marketing claims. The most expensive food is not automatically the best food, and the best food for your cat is the food that meets their nutritional needs, maintains healthy body condition, and fits your budget while allowing adequate resources for veterinary care and other health-critical expenses. Feed your cat well within your means. Mid-range quality feeding with excellent veterinary care provides better outcomes than premium food feeding with inadequate veterinary care due to budget constraints created by food costs. Closing: 10 advanced feeding and nutrition decisions. 10 times where the marketing narratives and premium pricing created assumptions about what cats need and where understanding the actual evidence allowed you to separate genuine nutritional value from expensive positioning that serves owner preferences rather than cat health. You now understand that food temperature is individual preference rather than universal requirement, that meal toppers provide genuine benefit for sick cats, but create expensive dependency for healthy cats, and that bone broth delivers hydration through water content rather than through magical properties that plain water lacks. You know that protein rotation does not prevent allergies and is unnecessary for cats eating complete foods, that timed feeders solve real scheduling problems while puzzle feeders provide enrichment for some cats and frustration for others, and that limited ingredient diets are medical nutrition for diagnosed allergies rather than superior everyday feeding for healthy cats. You understand that senior formulas are not universally necessary at specific ages and that healthy seniors often thrive on adult foods, that organic certification supports human values without delivering cat health benefits, that fresh food delivery costs 3 to 4 times more than premium canned without providing nutritional superiority, and that mid-range quality foods deliver excellent nutrition at better value than expensive premium brands for most cats. These 10 comparisons represent the advanced feeding knowledge that prevents you from wasting thousands of dollars annually on premium products that do not deliver premium nutrition. The pattern across these comparisons is clear. Expensive does not mean better. Premium positioning does not mean superior outcomes. And marketing narratives designed to appeal to human food trends do not translate to cat health advantages. The most important lesson from Part 6 is that feeding decisions should be based on your individual cat's actual response, rather than on population-level marketing claims. Temperature preference, topper enthusiasm, puzzle feeder, engagement, and food quality tolerance are individual and variable, and the best feeding approach for your cat is the one that keeps them eating well, maintaining healthy body condition, and thriving, regardless of whether that approach aligns with current pet food trends. Part 6 is complete. 68 comparisons across 6 videos. You have covered foundation nutrition, intermediate care, advanced topics, specialized situations, health and prevention, and now advanced feeding strategies. The breadth and depth of knowledge you have accumulated is extraordinary. If these feeding comparisons have changed how you approach cat nutrition or have saved you from unnecessary premium expenses, subscribe to this channel. Parts 7 through 10 are coming with 40 more comparisons covering behavioral decisions, environmental enrichment, medical choices, and multi-cat dynamics. Leave a comment telling us which feeding decision you are changing based on what you learned today. Are you switching from fresh food delivery to premium canned? Eliminating routine meal toppers for healthy cats? Choosing mid-range quality over expensive premium? Your experience helps other cat owners make informed decisions. Your cat's nutrition is in your hands. After 68 comparisons, you are equipped to feed them well without being manipulated by marketing into paying premium prices for products that do not deliver premium results. We will see you in the next one, cat lovers.